So in general, I think what's distinctive about the American approach to standards, and by standards, I'm thinking more about sort of qualifications, right? In certain countries, you have to be trained as a lawyer, you have to have had certain amount of mediation coursework before you can be approved as a mediator. We don't have any of that in the US, at least not at the public level or the state's level. So the upshot is that anyone can hang a shingle and call themselves a mediator and start taking mediation cases, even without having done any training. Now, in practice, that's very unlikely, right? Because to actually get mediation cases, it's not an easy feat. And you typically have to be affiliated with a court program or a private institution that will actually feed you cases. But our approach in the US has essentially been to leave it up to the market to decide standards, right? So when you're thinking about kind of influencing behavior or shaping the practice of mediation, there are lots of different ways to do that. I think our instinctive approach is often to think of the law or rules or standards as ways of doing that. And that's very, very much kind of top-down approach. And I think in the US, we've had a lot of discussions about sort of what should those standards be? How should they be enforced? And the general consensus here has been that actually the market does a pretty good job at constraining behavior and sending out reputational signals. And that to some degree, to centralize all of this and make a government or maybe a non-governmental organization in charge of all of this at the macro level could actually create more problems than it's going to solve. And so it's still a very controversial, I think, position that we've wound up with in the US. There are some people who are really pushing still for some standards in the US, but largely we've relied on the market as a kind of behavior and standard constraining mechanism.